guys, so it is time for math class. So I was trying to take the glare off the board a little bit, so it might look like I'm standing in the dark somewhat, but you'll be able to see the board better, and that's real important for today. Has been important every day, but I just kind of had ideas this morning on how to try and get the glare off a little bit. All right, so you're going to need to get out a clean sheet of paper, math board work. You're going to want to take notes. Please don't think, oh, I'll just watch the video again. I think you're probably really going to want to take some notes. So get you a clean sheet of paper. You can pause the video until you get ready, and then you can start it back up. Okay, so what we are going to do today is we're continuing with perimeters. So our formulas don't change. There's not anything that changes about what we're doing. We're just taking lots of information that we have learned this year and using it kind of like all in one place. So it's a really cool thing. This is something that you will be doing all the way through middle school and through the first part of high school as well. You'll just be adding some algebraic equations with it, like what you're doing like will be within algebraic equations and things like that. So it's real cool, and it's real fun to know that you're learning something so advanced, because it's a pretty big deal. So here we go. Follow along, okay? All right, so we have the perimeter of 5 feet equals 3 feet and 6 inches, or 5 feet width and 3 feet 6 inches length, or vice versa. I get the length and the width, which is wide and which is long, whatever. But those are our measurements that we're going to be dealing with. Before we go on with that, let me just bring a few things to your remembrance. Remember, like if we have 2 inches equals blank foot, we're going from smaller to larger, so we know that we're going to divide. We know that there's 12 inches in a foot. You know, Miss McDermott, with that fraction bar, use it as a division sign. 2 inches divided by 12. So we reduce that to 2 will go into 1 time, 2 will go into 12 6 times. So 2 inches is 1/6 of a foot. Okay? Like if we said 5, let's just do 3. If we said 3 cups equals blank gallon, we're going from smaller to larger, so we're going to divide, okay? So we say how many cups are in a gallon. Let's say quart. Let me make it a little bit simple just for the thing today. How many quart are in a gallon? We're going to say 4. So use that fraction bar, 3 divided by 4. So 3 quart is 3/4 of a gallon. Okay, so keep that in mind. We've been doing lots of problems. I don't know if you guys remember. There's been like 2 or 3, maybe 4 of them showing up every once in a while on your math papers. That's because they're trying to get you used to seeing the problems that become fractions in these conversion problems. That's why on the board, I keep going to the board. You know, remember when we were in class and doing them on the board with you, talking about that fraction bar that can be used as a division sign. All of that is why, okay? All right, so here's our rectangle, 5 feet by 3 feet and 6 inches. All right, so the first thing that you need to know is the perimeter of this rectangle can be found 2 different ways. The formula is the same. The formula is perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Draw your rectangle on your paper, put your measurements on it, and then everything I'm writing on the board, you need to write on the board. If you haven't done that yet, go ahead and pause and then come back to me. Okay? So this perimeter can be found 2 different ways. We can find the perimeter by using the lesser unit or by using the greater unit. Those are the 2 different ways that we can find the perimeter. I see hands going up everywhere, and I call on Heavenly, and Heavenly says, "What is a unit?" You know you would have been the first one, baby. But I love questions. Questions are what help you to be so smart. So the unit is the measurement that they are using. They're using feet, they're using inches. So this means that the perimeter can be found by using The lesser unit, which would be inches in this case, not in every case, depends on what your measurements are up there. The greater unit using feet. Okay? Y'all good? All right, have your thinkers going on. So, if we were doing it, finding our lesser unit, I'm going to do that over here on the right side, and I'm going to write lesser unit. So my lesser unit is inches. So that means my 6 inches, or my 3 feet right here, 3 feet 6 inches, is going to have to be converted to all inches. So I'm going to go to my feet. Now some of you can do this in your head, and if you can, that's fine. If you can't, then get out your scratch paper or just go to a corner on your notes and do it. But for right now, put it in your notes. All right, so we have, we're going from feet to inches, so we're going larger to smaller. So we are going to multiply. How many inches are in a foot? There's 12 inches in a foot, so we're going to multiply our 12 times our 3, and we get 36. So 36 plus 6 is 42 inches. Okay, so up here, I'm going to go up here to my box, and I'm going to make a box up here by my rectangle, and I'm going to write lesser. So my lesser measurement would be 42 inches. Okay, now my 5 feet. My 5 feet has to be inches as well. So I'm going to write 5 feet equals blank inches. How many inches if we're going from feet to inches, we are going from larger to smaller again. So we are going to multiply. You can make a little box if you need to. And how many inches are in a foot? 12. And 12 times 5 is 60. So up here, I'm going to make a box, and I'm going to put lesser. And I'm going to write 60 inches. All right? So now, I did this on paper, so I could explain it to you much easier and following my steps. So, and it's not that it's that hard, but I just wanted to break it down so that you can understand it easily, okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and figure my perimeter using the lesser unit. So perimeter equals, I'm not going to write my formula again right here in my notes, but you know if you were working the problem, you would write that formula. Perimeter equals, using my lesser unit, 2 times 42 plus 2 times 60. So 2 times 42 would be 84, and 2 times 60 would be 120. So perimeter equals 204, and what's our unit? Our unit that we used was the lesser unit, which is inches. Guys, you are not putting your unit of measurement used, some of you, a lot of you, several of you, on your math. If you do not have what your unit of measurement is, inches, feet, whatever it is, cups, gallons, whatever your measurement is, that unit, if you don't have it in your answer starting today, then it will be marked incorrect, okay? You have to have that unit of measurement, okay? So that's finding our perimeter using the lesser unit of measurement. Cool, easy breezy, right? All right, so now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to write greater unit. Okay? So to find the greater unit of measurement, we are going to have to feet. We need to turn those 6 inches into feet. So over here, we have 3 feet, 6 inches. Those inches are going to have to be converted to feet. So 6 inches equals, let me make my box a little bit bigger, equals blank feet. If we are going from inches, pretend that's a nice box right there. If we're going from inches to feet, then we are going smaller to larger, so we will divide this time. Remember, the fraction bar is a division sign. So we're going to say how many times will inches go into feet. Inches will go in, or how many inches are in a foot? There's 12. So 6 divided by 12. 6/12 reduces to 1/2. So we're going to come over here and beside 1/2. I said 1/2, guys, and wrote 1/3. I don't know if you could see that it's so small. So you come over here, we're going to make our box, and we're going to say the greater unit would be 3 feet. Here's our 3 feet, and 3 1/2 foot, because we turned our 6 inches into 1/2 feet, okay? So 3 1/2 feet. All right, so now we are ready to find our perimeter using the greater unit, okay? So perimeter equals, you might want to, on the side right here, beside this one, draw your line and write lesser. Right here, maybe write greater. Okay, perimeter equals 2, so we're using feet now, 2 times, this is already feet, so we're good. 2 times 5 plus 2 times, our greater unit was 3.5. Okay, so 2 times 5 is 10 plus 2 over 1 times 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7 times 7 halves. Our 1's cancel each other out. So 1 times 7 is 7 over 1, so it equals 7. So perimeter equals 17. What was our unit of measurement we were doing this time? The greater unit, which was feet. So it equals 17 feet. So check this out. We now know, because the perimeter of this in inches was 204, the perimeter of it in feet was 17, we know that 204 inches equals 17 feet. They're the same thing. Now, when you do your problems today, you are not going to have to do them, each rectangle you're not going to have to do in the greater unit and in the lesser unit, but it is going to tell you in each section which you're doing it by. So be sure and follow those directions carefully, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and erase this. You have it on the video. Refer back to the video if you need to. Go ahead and get your math books out and open them. Oh, my board is gone wanko on me. And open it to, where's my math book? Move my room around a little bit for this today, or for now on. I was tired of it looking at it the other way. Get your math book out and open it to page 255. And we are going to do letter A together in section 1 and letter A together in section number 2, okay? So we're going to start with section 1. So we have 7 feet, oh, I got the light off and it's hard to see. 7 feet, 3 inches. By 8 feet. Okay, and then we have to look at our directions. Section 1, the directions say, convert to the greater unit before finding the perimeter of these rectangles. So this will be the greater unit. All right, so our 3 inches have to be converted to the greater unit. So if we're going from inches to feet, then we are going smaller to larger. We are going to divide using the fraction bar. Okay, so how many inches are in a foot? 12, so it would be 3 divided by 12. 3/12 can be reduced to, 3 will go into 3 one time, 3 will go into 12 4 times, 2 1/4, all right? So now our perimeters are, our distances are 7 Not yet, I always want to do that 1/4 afterwards. 7 1/4 feet by 8 feet. So that's all we have to do. And then we're ready to work our problem just as if that's the way we got the information. Perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. All right, so we're ready to measure our length. I think the length is the long way and the width is the sideways way. Perimeter, I've never been good with like, someone will say, well, how long do you think it is? I don't know. I'm not good at like looking at something and say, oh, it's a couple feet. I don't know. It could be a couple miles to me. I'm just not good at looking at something and deciding how big it is or how long it is or whatever. It has nothing to do with math class, but I'm missing you guys and would really just love to sit down and talk to you. All right, so we have perimeter equals 2 times 7 1/4 plus 2 times 8. All right, so now we're ready to figure it. Perimeter equals 2 over 1 times 7 times 4 is 28, plus 1 is 29/4. Plus, so I guess we can go ahead and figure this now. 2 will go into 2 one time, 2 will go into 4 2 times, okay? Plus 16. So now we have perimeter equals 29 over 2 plus 16. So our 29 over 2 we have to turn into an improper or a mixed number. So 29 over 2 29 over 2 becomes 2 will go into 29 14 times. 14 1/2 plus 16. So perimeter equals 14 and 16 is 30. 30 1/2, and our unit of measure is feet. We were going to the greater unit. 30 1/2 feet is our answer. All right, pretty cool. Feeling pretty accomplished and smart there? All right, I'm going to erase this. You can refer back to the video if you need. Go ahead. It's just lots of steps. It's everything that we have learned, everything that we know. It's just lots of steps getting it all in there, okay? Now, in your brain, some people can skip steps and do very, very fine. Some people, I am one of those, the kind of people I'm talking about now, needs every single step to get the problem done. I'm not good at looking ahead and thinking, okay, well, this would be that, so let me just do that now. I'm not good at that. I have to have every single step written down. If you're fine with skipping steps and going on and making that problem happen and getting the correct answer, then great. But if you do skip steps and you're missing problems, then I suggest you go back and watch the video again, look at your notes carefully, and start putting those steps in, okay? All right. Section 2A, our problem is, now they have this one written a little bit differently. Length equals 3 yards (2 feet), and width equals 4 yards. What am I going to do now, guys? I am going to read my directions and see what am I converting my measurements to. Convert to the lesser unit before finding the perimeters of the rectangles. So this is the lesser unit. What is my lesser unit? My lesser unit would be feet. So I'm going to have to go to my 3 yards and 2, I'm going to have to go to my 3 yards, convert it to feet, my 4 yards, and convert it to feet. So 3 yards equals blank feet. I'm going from larger to smaller, so I am going to multiply. How many feet are in a yard? 3. So 3 times 3 equals 9. And then, so this up here is 9 plus my 2 feet. I got to add my 2 feet to it. So this is now 11 feet. My 4 yards, I'm going from yards to feet, larger to smaller. I will be multiplying. How many feet are in a yard? 3. 4 times 3 is 12. So that's going to be 12 feet. Okay? So now my perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Okay? Perimeter equals 2 times 11, because I converted my 3 yards, 2 feet to all feet. Keep forgetting to write my little signs here. Plus 2 times 9, because I converted my 3 yards to feet. Perimeter equals 22 plus 2 times 9 is 18. Perimeter equals A and 2 is 10, because 0 down, carry the 1. Perimeter equals 40. 40, what is my unit of measure I converted to? The greater unit, 40 feet. Okay? So that is that. So you guys, have fun today. Do your best today. And I'm excited to see how you do. If you have any questions, you can message me below. If I feel like I need to go ahead and give you my number, I will give you my number to call. But I think y'all will do okay. If you need me, I am here. All right? I love you guys. Enjoy.